Uganda consumes about 4,961 metric tons of charcoal every day. Out of this, Kampala alone takes an average of about 900 metric tons. It still remains the main source of energy for cooking in most homes. With the high charcoal and firewood consumption, there has been a drastic negative effect on the forest cover in the country.
We have not yet reached that level of, having cooking, for instance, with electricity. Only a very few proportion of the population is able to do that. So a majority of people are still relying on firewood, they're relying on charcoal, basically they're relying on biomass.
Although it is said to be illegal trading in charcoal in Uganda, a number of tons continue to be exported to neighboring countries every day.
When you look at the businesses across the border, and when you're moving towards going to Kampala, you find the most traded goods is charcoal, not even the product that comes from agriculture.
Even as the government puts in place measures to curb the depletion of forest cover, many are concerned that the efforts may hit a snag given the unbalanced environmental protection policies among member countries in East Africa. In 2018, the Kenyan government banned the large-scale charcoal production and export. However, it didn't stop its importation from neighboring countries.
Kenya instituted a ban on charcoal production, but also production of timber. And yet Kenya's economy has to continue growing.
Although its purpose was a wider strategy to restore the country's degraded forest cover, the ban caused a sharp increase in the demand for charcoal from Uganda.
So we have a bigger market in the neighboring Kenya now, especially for charcoal, and that is really what is driving the high levels of production of.
I wanted a situation whereby when Kenya is banning the charcoal business and cutting trees in Kenya, this is supposed to come from East African Community Parliament.
But one would ask if Uganda, just like her counterparts in East Africa, has clear policies to regulate cross-border charcoal trade.
There is no exportation of charcoal out of Uganda. And the minister wrote a letter and gave to all the concerned parties, Uganda Revenue Authority, the ministry that is in charge of issuing export license. So if at all it is happening, that is an illegal activity.
Some of the districts, especially in the most affected areas of northern Uganda, have now taken up moves to develop district ordinances to regulate the charcoal business.
Have an ordinance in place by the district council, which we hope that will be able to give more guidance to the communities on issues to do with the environmental conservation.
You make good resolution, you make good bylaw, you make good district ordinances, but it is not implemented. People who are supposed to enforce the resolution are police officers.
In 2019, the Ministry of Water and Environment announced plans to plant over 40 million trees countrywide. It is said to be one of the ways government hopes to regain the forest cover back to the original 24% or more.
The target is going to plant and grow at least 40 million trees. So this year it is our hope and it's our target that we reach that. And we want to continue for the next 10 years.
Currently, Uganda remains the highest producer and exporter of charcoal across East Africa. Nelson Omoya, NTV.